20% off. And this year's free Camellia Show Spectacular is rolling along. Hundreds of many rare and exotic specimens blooming right now all over this 5-acre garden. It's worth the trip. Bob Wines is on Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Plenty of sun today, the high 71 to 74. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 49 to 60. Partly sunny, afternoon shower Wednesday, the high 74 to 78. Thursday, partly sunny, pleasant, high 73 to 77. Cloudy with an afternoon shower in spots on Friday, the high 74 to 79. A thunderstorm Saturday, high 70 to 75. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Steve Williams.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sonrise.
It's a good song.
Will treat
It's a
you
great song.
right. We'll treat you right.
Bada boom. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. In the studio, Sonrise Automotive, Auto Repair with personal care. Matt Gibbs, welcome, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good. Speaking of, I what was it last week? Things were stressful in between learning to do this more so, and then in between. But Rocky was on when I was on my lunch break.
Oh.
This was last week, and I caught it. And that was the first time I had seen that movie in its entirety. Because over years growing up, I've only seen...
Like the original Rocky?
Yeah, the original. Bits and pieces scattered over through. And then I realized, well, what I thought was watching it from start to finish, actually, the opening scene, I'm like, actually, I've never seen the opening scene of this.
Oh, wow.
So I watched the whole thing. It was awesome. Hey, yo, how you doing? Yeah.
I hired a guy today. His name is Adrian, but it's not a woman. It's Adrian.
We got Matt Gibbs in the studio with us. Anybody who's got any automotive questions you'd like to have Matt answer, anything you'd like to do for repair on your own vehicle, if you need repairs or consulting or questions, give us a call, 622-9622, and we'll take those calls, get your questions answered, all that good stuff. I've learned, Matt, that as I'm doing this stuff more solo, a big part of filling time is to take longer pauses in the emphasis of what I need to say to make it sound more important.
Right.
But at the same time, it drags time out a little bit longer.
Right, I'm fixing my head is fixing to hit the granite.
Yeah. That's what I realized with all the other guys like Rush and then Rush Limbaugh and all the Glenn Beck and all of them. They just take lengthy pauses just to emphasize their point even more. And it used to bother me, but now that I'm sitting in the seat, I'm like, oh, I get why they do it.
You know how long 2 minutes is sometimes?
Oh my goodness. And sometimes it's really quick where I'm looking over like 2 minutes. At the bottom of the hour.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's just when we're having fun,
That's
we
what
lose
it
the
is.
track at
It
times.
loses it. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
The whole conception of it doesn't exist. That's why it goes fast. Did you have a good weekend?
We did.
Yeah?
We did have a good weekend.
I
worked on my gate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I worked
That's
on my
not a
gate.
car.
No, it's not. I did do some. I did. No, I don't. Yeah, I did. I try not to work on cars on the weekend.
No.
You know what
I
I'm
can see
saying?
that.
I'd
I
rather
can see that.
I'd rather have a headache.
Yeah.
You know. I'd rather work on my boat.
There you go. All boats need a lot of work.
You know, people say, the best day of owning a boat is the day you buy it, and then the second best day is the day you
You sell it. Yeah.
But actually,
Yeah.
I don't mind when my boat breaks.
No.
No, I don't.
Because it's not a car.
It's not a car.
Awesome. Anybody out there listening who's got any questions, Matt Gibbs in the studio to answer those questions for you. 622-9622. Give us a call. Yeah. You know, my dad owned a boat. It was just a little bass boat. And you'd think it's a fiberglass bass boat, 6 feet long. I'm sorry,
No,
8
okay.
feet.
Oh.
8 feet. And it was like still a big pain in the butt. I learned what it takes to fiberglass patch a boat. We had to do it like 8 times.
Were you like riding it off into trees?
No, it's just, I guess the temperature change and everything got it to crack. And we would not find, we patched it up. It's good to go. A couple weeks later, all right, let's take the boat out. We take the boat out. We're on the water. There's another leak.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, so I guess we're not fishing till 4 today, huh, Pop?
Hey, I had an interesting thing. I had an interesting. I'm gonna try to get up a picture up on my phone here. I had one of my employees, his uncle.
Those long pauses help the time.
Was restoring this,
Oh, wow.
and
Is that right?
yeah, I called Dan about it, and
Yeah.
it's a 19. I don't know what it is. I know it's got a Continental engine in it.
Yeah, it looks like a...
Viking.
Oh, you know what this is, partner? This is phenomenal. What I'm looking at, folks, here is, if I could put that in the way of the camera as such. There. That's what we're taking a look at for those who are watching YouTube. What this is here, this is probably a 1958, somewhere in there, Belanca.
Belanca is
Super Viking.
yeah, but it's a 63. I think.
63, okay. I was going to say by the nose, it's a little harder to tell. So these airplanes are awesome. They're fast. And they're fabric and wood. They're fabric and wood. That's what's incredible about them. So obviously you can tell that from the, from the fuselage that's fabric with wood. But so is the wings with the wood spar. And then it's got like some kind of like acrylic or poly that goes over the wood spar on that. Those are pretty cool airplanes. I've had the privilege of getting to fly a couple of those.
Well, you could be the proud owner of that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I always told myself too. When I had gotten into aviation, it was kind of this idea, and I wonder if you think about this too when it came to like cars. Is how cool it would be to like go from the ground up, building your own either car or airplane. And then when I got into aviation, I watched people who were doing that, and well, I had worked in Pensacola for 5 years, and the guy was 7 years in at the point that I was leaving, and still it was not airworthy. And he retired, and for 5 years devoted his time, just like a work day, 8 to 5, to work on it. And in 5 years, it still was not ready to be flown.
Yeah, that's
and I said, no, I don't got the time or patience.
Yeah, I don't.
How does that feel with a car?
Well, for a lot of guys, there's one of the managers over at Prestige Auto Sales is, you should have seen this 1970 Nova. That was an absolute, it was a rust bucket. So they have actually replaced every panel, fender, floor pans, deck lids, hoods. Everything in this car is brand new.
Wow.
Okay, so it just got out of the paint shop. And they've been working on this car for, working on it hard for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And a group of guys that's what they do. This is what they do for a living, is restore cars. So it's not like, sometimes you get into something and you get halfway done and you found out, oh, I should have done that first, and you got to take it all back apart. These are professional guys that this is what they do.
And that's
now I got bits and pieces of the car at my shop.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've got the drive shaft there. I got power steering pumps there. I got starters there. And I'm redoing this for them. I've rebuilt the rear end for them and all that kind of stuff. And just doing that right there makes me decide I don't want to do this.
So now, when we watch shows like Counting Cars with Danny there in Vegas, and they restore whatever, you're like, yeah, that's over a long period of time, and he's got a whole team that's doing all of that, and that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
So then when Danny's like, all right, show me that beautiful Yada, and then they bring it out, and you're like, oh my God, that's cherry, that's gorgeous, and you're like, yeah, the work that went into that. No, as just a hobby thing. Mm-mm.
No, we pride ourselves, and we have, one of the guys, Dan brought over a Jeep.
Yeah.
The old Jeep.
Yeah.
And I had to send that down the road because it takes so many man hours and people, and I got a woman that needs to go get her kids this afternoon to pick them up from school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We're not geared up that way.
Right. Right.
So, and we're geared up to take care of the folks that have to go to work tomorrow.
That have to use that vehicle for the purposes of everyday
and there
life.
are companies that there's companies that's what they do.
That's what they do. Now, was that the black Jeep?
No, it was an Army Jeep. It was an old Willys.
Yeah, okay. Now I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, with a 4-cylinder, and they want to take the 4-cylinder out and put a V6 in.
Put a 6 in. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of neat. That's
that's really cool. It's just that we don't.
Nah.
I'm not geared up that way.
Yeah, that's a lot. If you're listening, we got Matt Gibbs in from Sonrise Automotive, owner of Sonrise Automotive and Crossroad Auto Sales, which you said might be going by the wayside here soon.
Yeah, we're phasing that part of it out.
Yeah, that's okay. If you got any questions, comments, facts of life, opinions, any of that good stuff, give us a call, 622-9622. Go ahead and call in. We're going to take just a little break.
Okay.
Plug in some weather, throw a commercial in there, and then we'll be back. So please call 622-9622. And you're listening to WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
Plenty of sun today, the high 71 to 74. Clear to partly cloudy tonight, low 49 to 60. Partly sunny, afternoon shower Wednesday, the high 74 to 78. Thursday, partly sunny, pleasant, high 73 to 77. Cloudy with an afternoon shower in spots on Friday, the high 74 to 79. A thunderstorm Saturday, high 70 to 75. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Steve Williams.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368.
Well, the new year is upon us, and that means getting to those forgotten projects that you promised you would. So whether you're tackling a small honeydew list or building the Taj Mahal, Sunbelt Rentals will help you get the job done right with the right tools. From carpet cleaners to excavators, Sunbelt Rentals has what you need. So what are you waiting for? Get it done. Rent it now from Sunbelt Rentals, located on Highway 27, just a half mile east of I-75, or visit sunbeltrentals.com. Get it done. Rent it now. Sunbelt Rentals.
There we go. Yeah, and we're back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on WOCA Ocala. Matt Gibbs in the studio, Sonrise Automotive. Any questions or comments, call us, 622-9622. We were just talking off air. My car is a 2013 Ford Escape. And it tells you when, time for an oil change and a little thing there. But it's also been telling me, and this only happens once in a while, and it's usually when I start driving for a little bit and I apply the brake, is it's got a brake light default, as if like the bulb's out. And when I crank up the vehicle and I get the lights on, it's fine. And then I depress the brake, it's fine. And then I start driving down the road, and then it comes up saying, eh. So I was at the car wash, this was about 2 weeks ago, and I had shut the car off, cleaned it, as I come out of the car wash and cleaned it up, shut the car off, did the tires and everything. I put this little wax stuff on it, it's kind of nice. And I started it up, and I realized I had to press the brake, and then it had come up again. And I was like, I can't even tell which bulb it is, because if I'm pushing on the brake, So I got some lady to help me out, push on the brake, and I went back there. So they illuminate, but then when you depress the brake for it to show the brake light, it's out on the right side. And I had changed my Explorer. I had an 07 Explorer that I had changed those bulbs in the back there, I don't know how many times, because water would get in there so bad. Like, it was so bad to a point where I actually took a really, really small drill bit and just drilled it in there, just because I don't know where or how it was filling with water. This one doesn't do that, but I'm also looking at, like, how do I get into this to change the bulb? I can't even. It's different.
It's crazy on some of them.
Yeah. So I still have it that way.
It's some of the things that we have to do. We had a Cadillac. It was an SRX.
Yeah.
It was like a crossover. Comes in and it needed a bulb in the front.
Okay. And that's it. Just a bulb.
Just a bulb.
As if it was just the headlights out.
It was a headlight bulb. I just needed a headlight bulb.
Yeah. And what you're thinking is like, all right.
Oh man, I thought I took a picture of it, but apparently I didn't.
Oh, shoot.
But anyway, just to replace a headlight bulb in this Cadillac, we had to take the entire bumper cover off. So the customer, and there's quite a few cars that we have to do this on.
Okay.
But when you're thinking of your car and then you come out and like the whole nose of it is off.
Oh yeah.
You start freaking out a little bit.
Yep.
So this guy walks out into the shop and he's walking over and I'm like, oh boy, here it comes.
Yeah.
And he turned around, went in front of the car, and he was, what the heck are y'all doing to my car? I just need a headlight bulb. Yeah, but you have to do this to get to the headlight bulb.
Yep.
And
I'm sure a lot of people don't believe that.
They don't understand. Why does it take an hour to put a bulb in my car? Well, sir, we had to take the whole front of the car off. And it happens all the time.
That's incredible.
It's just crazy how they do things.
Was it one of those that are, because like on the Escalades, they got those beautiful headlights, but it looks like they're like individual like crystals.
Yeah, well, the LED things.
Yeah, that come down. Yeah. And have you guys had to change any LED stuff?
We have lots of problems.
Yeah.
With LED stuff.
I was wondering that because they always kind of make it seem like, LEDs, that's it, it's good, but they'll still go out in certain things, and then certain circumstances they won't stop like blinking, right?
Yeah.
Like the grounding and all that stuff, or how it's timed. Like if somebody, like the 07 Explorer, if I wanted to put just an LED conversion in there, which they make now.
I know they do.
But as soon as you put it in there, like my buddy did it for his 97 Dodge Dually, and he's like, yeah, I got LEDs in the front, I got LEDs in the back, and he's literally just screwing the panel. He's like, I just changed out the ones that are in the back, so let's see how they go. And they're just flickering.
Yeah.
So he had to like get something different to change that out. That's probably one of the things that irks you a little bit. Just when you think you got it, and then it's doing something
all
like that.
the time, man.
Yeah.
It drives you crazy. And a lot of the newer cars, like there was a Chevy Tahoe, 2015 Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're driving down the road and you touch the brake pedal, just as you touch it, all the interior lights flash.
No way.
Yeah. So
all that at night, I bet that's miserable.
Well, what happened was here's something. So you don't think of stuff like this. It's almost like that's too crazy.
Yeah.
So here's a family that buys this car.
Yeah.
Okay, they're driving it, and it flashes at night. Now the problem that they have is they have an epileptic son.
Oh, no
or daughter,
way. Yeah, no way.
and that can create a seizure.
Oh my goodness.
So these folks, they were all upset because you couldn't even turn it. If you turned the switch in the off position, the dome light switch in the off position, hit the brake pedal, they'd flash.
No matter what.
No matter what. We had to do some research. So what we found was that we had to change the outside brake light bulbs to change the resistance, because that was feeding back into the lighting system, causing these interior lights to flash.
Incredible.
So what actually happened later down the road, Chevrolet We found a TSB. That's why a lot of times when people bring cars to me and they're acting and doing something weird, first thing we do is a search. Is there a recall or a TSB on it?
Right.
So we found a TSB later that we had to replace all the LED lighting inside the car.
Oh, man.
And it solved the problem. But we actually solved the problem.
Yeah.
Before they even came out with a fix for it.
Okay.
Because these people had that, they couldn't
can't
drive the car.
No, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough. And I'm sure even on gray days like it was yesterday evening, that probably wreaks havoc, plays a big part of it. Oh, man, that's crazy. That's got to be one of the things, though, that's kind of, those are the moments where you got to be like, all right, what I do is some kind of interesting. Like, it's not just, those are the moments you can look back. I'm sure it's a pain in the butt because you're like, man, just what we wanted to do was just a simple fix of something. But then when you follow the breadcrumbs and you figure out something like that, at least you got a pretty neat story to tell and something to look at later on.
And you never forget that kind of stuff.
No, that's because it's so unique. It's so unique. You got any other stories like that?
Oh, I got stories until you won't have to pause.
Gotcha.
It's insane what's going on, and the computer systems, and it's not like a lot of times if your car needed a new computer, your Ford Escape.
Right.
Okay, so that means you can't just go buy a computer, plug it in.
No.
You have to buy a computer. You have to plug it in. Well, first, before you plug it in, we have to take all the information and all the data out of your old one.
Right.
We got to store that on a computer.
Yeah.
And we got to put in a new one, and we got to put all that information back into this.
Wow.
To new computer. Now, if your air conditioners, your brakes, your lighting, Fords use what they call a GEM module. The GEM module, it controls horns, windows, buzzers, warning devices.
Wow.
All that. So a lot of these cars today, they may have anywhere from 9 to 20 modules, computers inside these cars today. And people don't understand, they have a problem, they come in, plug the computer in. Well, the computer doesn't fix nothing.
No.
It just gives us a place to start.
Wow.
Or check engine lights on. A lot of times when guys are looking for a job and I'm talking to them, doing an interview.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you a drivability guy? Well, yeah, I know how to balance tires. No, that's not the guy I don't even want to talk to. Right then and there, I know that this is not the guy I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And just to have that understanding, and it's amazing how many people call, I'm a mechanic.
Right.
Okay. Or they'll come in and say, I'm a technician.
Okay.
And there's a huge difference in our world now.
Yeah.
I don't really need mechanics much anymore.
No.
I need
technicians.
Technicians.
And that's for exactly that reason.
And you have to have a God-given ability and a passion.
Yeah.
Because
that's a lot of troubleshooting. That's a lot of patience. Because a lot of that, what you're going from is, and I think we were mentioning this last week, was that when somebody called in about an airplane engine, well, it's mechanical.
Right.
Everything on it is mechanical. Certain items are engine driven. Those mechanical objects that are driven by the engine, mechanical.
Right.
Technician, because everything now is so digital.
Right.
And you got to have a different way of thinking, which means a lot more of the work is more tedious.
Right.
It's following breadcrumbs to lead you in a direction that may be something that's only going to tell you what something is to where to start. Like you said, that's going to give you some place to start. Then you come to find out, you're like, well, so the lights are flickering every time we hit the brake.
Right, exactly. Well, it's like the other day, I had a truck come in, and it had a code. It had a check engine light. It had a brake sensor code that's inside the brake booster.
Okay.
So immediately the technician said, I need to get a brake booster sensor.
Yeah.
Well, that sensor is $275 my cost.
Right.
Okay.
That's your cost.
But now my next question to the guy is, what determined that sensor is bad?
Yeah.
Not just, don't tell me you plugged it in, and just because it has a code for the sensor, because there's a whole lot more involved in that sensor than just the sensor.
Right. So just replacing brand new, is there? Because if you plug in another one, it might be the same exact thing.
And I own it for $275.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I can't and I can't charge it to you if it didn't fix it.
Yeah, if it didn't fix it.
I mean, a lot of guys would, but I don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then what happens is if you see that same problem, something like it, then you can be like, do we have I don't need to order one. We have one because it didn't work last time.
Right.
Yeah, that's different.
And understanding how a circuit works.
Right. See, this is fascinating stuff because overall, I think a lot of people still think it's just mechanical, like you said, mechanic.
Right. Most 90% of
technician.
people do.
It's the stuff that we were saying 10, 15 years ago about all imported German vehicles or Japanese vehicles. They were more technologically than more they were mechanically, like more American cars, but they're all the same now.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
Except now, I will say this: the European cars. Like I have a guy that has a European shop.
That's the top,
Fox
buddy. We'll be back
News,
after
I'm
this.
Roger Stern. President Trump's legal team resumed their defense today in the Senate impeachment trial. Yesterday, defense attorney Robert Ray slammed the House impeachment articles.
A standardless and partisan impeachment is illegitimate and should be rejected as such.
No decision yet on witnesses. Democrats pushing for former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Following reports, his new book corroborates the case.